Hi, my name is Marissa Halagao, and I'm a sophomore at Punahou School, and I'm full Filipina, and I live here on Oahu, and I'm a writer, an artist, a piano player, a hula dancer, a sister, a friend, and a daughter. Oh my God, don't get me started on colonial mentality. My mom has definitely influenced me. She's always taught me to question the systems put in place, especially in education and curriculum and representation as well. I think it's because of her and my dad's experience as kids. They were both immigrants from the Philippines. They actually were encouraged not to speak Tagalog or Ilocano. To me, that's really degrading to tell someone that their language and their culture isn't worthy to be fostered. And because of that, my parents did not want that for their kids as well. All sophomores at Punahou are required to take the Asian history class. But the thing is, when I was looking at the course catalog, I saw that the first semester is required, and that was only focused on China and Japan. But I was wondering where the Philippines, because Filipinos are actually the largest Asian ethnic group in the state here in Hawaii. After I realized that the Philippines weren't really represented at all, my mom was with me when I was realizing this, and she was like, well, Marissa, why do you think that China and Japan are the ones that are focused on in the first semester? And that really got me thinking of, there is a hierarchy within Asian countries. It's written plainly in the curriculum. It was kind of painful to see that. The curriculum should reflect the diversity of the community. Representation is really important, especially for kids, to see themselves being represented in whether that be education or the media or television or literature. And people don't realize this, but after so long of not really seeing yourself being represented, and then you finally do, it's the best feeling, because I grew up reading a lot and I never saw Filipino characters. Last year, my mom actually gave me this book called When the Elephants Dance. Seeing these characters and hearing them speak Tagalog and seeing the word Filipino on a page and seeing how strong these characters were, it was such an unforgettable thing to read, and that's now my favorite book. Because after so long of not even seeing myself being represented in literature, when I finally did, it made me feel so proud. I actually got in touch with some other teachers who were planning to create a new Asian Studies course. And I asked them if I can help them create the course and be in charge of writing a Filipino unit. I explained to them why this was so important to me and how Filipino representation should not be overlooked as much as it is, and how we deserve to have the light in education. They were completely on board and were planning on actually creating the course so that it can be offered next school year, and it will have a Filipino unit that I will help create. I realized that it actually is important to not only be offering this course at Punahou, but also public schools across Hawaii. I also knew that I didn't want to just hand the curriculum that I was creating at Punahou to public schools, and I knew I wanted to collaborate with students from public schools that were Filipino too and create a curriculum that would be specific to their needs and getting their perspectives. So that was when I got in touch with a lot of the collaborators that I am working with right now, Raymart and Jalen and Caitlin and Kylie. I realized that I kind of wanted to start from scratch with them because they all have so many great ideas. They're all very smart and intellectual.
That's pretty unfair for people living in certain areas that don't have education on like their history and their culture.
It's gonna reduce the violence, because
Then that's gonna promote cultural relativism and connections.
To learn about the history, unlike how we didn't get to we didn't get the chance to do so.
I think that I just want to be like seen, like I want to share like a part of me, and
even if it's not their own, because then they'll be able to understand people from different backgrounds. And I feel like that can lead to something.
teaching them like about our culture, our roots, our stories.
Because it shows like how passionate we are in this project, and it shows like how much we can do as students.
There's a purpose for this. Maybe we could end racism finally.
We're gonna have 3 primary units: culture and connections, historical context, and Filipinos in Hawaii. History has a lot of potential to be approached in an interactive way and a student discussion-based way, but also that is influential. My dream is that my brother, he's in 8th grade now and will be going into high school next year, he will have the education and that representation that I never got. And I want him to see himself and feel worthy in himself and feel celebrated by school and by the systems put in place. Whether you're Filipino or not, just to learn about the community that we do live in, and to feel worthy in yourself and your identity and your history and your culture, that's all I can really ask for.